One of the very first things that was kind of created in this particular industry was, for lack of better terms, shaved ice. They take ice and they grind it down so that it looks like snow. And then they put it in a cup that is a cone. So we have a snow cone, okay? Now, over time, we've tried to become much more sophisticated, okay? And we have things like Hawaiian ice. What is Hawaiian ice?
The same thing.
The same thing, they just do it a little bit different. They use a large block of ice, and they have a razor blade, and they spin that thing, and it shaves the ice down almost to this, and it's a little fluffier, and so therefore it has a different little mouth feel, but it's essentially the same thing, but it's trying to change the value perception. And we keep talking about value perception, so, you know, what would you pay for a snow cone?
$3.
$3? Yeesh.
Well, I mean, it
Yeah.
depends on how big it is.
What
but
I
like-
want to pay, or what they probably
Yeah,
would charge?
typically when I was at Liberty Land at the amusement park, we charged $1.25 for this. Okay, now I'm gonna give away my age, and that was like 40 years ago, okay? So I'm sure through time, it cost more. What would you pay for Hawaiian ice?
The same.
$10? Oh,
It comes in like
a bigger container, yeah, so we're changing the volume. All right, so this is a really, really simple way to make money. Remember I told you at the start of class, we're gonna take items that cost virtually nothing, and then we're gonna charge a premium price. So what does it cost for ice?
It's
You can get a bag for
$1.25
like-
a pound.
Yeah,
99 cents.
Pardon me, 99 cents for like a 5-pound bag or something? Yeah. Some places, like stadiums, arenas, you have an ice machine. How much do you pay for ice?
Free.
The cost
Free.
of the machine.
Yeah, the cost of the machine. Basically, it's frozen water, right? So if you ever wanted to talk about a low-cost item, it's snow cones, because the base ice virtually costs nothing, okay? The syrup is nothing more than sugar water. So we're gonna take sugar water, about an ounce of sugar water, put it with something that's free, and we're gonna charge $3 for it, or more.
Highway robbery.
Yeah, and so originally when these machines were made, they were made out of stainless steel and they had glass so that you could see it. Why did they not make it like that now?
Because it would rust.
Pardon me?
Wouldn't it rust?
It could rust.
The plastic's more portable.
What's more portable?
Like the plastic.
The plastic is less likely to break. Plexiglass is not going to break. If you break this glass in the ice, you got, you know, potential hazards. Bad things can happen, okay? Really, the only piece of machinery is a motor here that has a blade on the front end, and it's going to spin, it's going to rotate. So it's very maintenance friendly, okay? I would just tell you that anytime you're not using this machine, it would be unplugged, okay? Because electricity and water, they're very friendly, they like each other, and they're going to attach themselves to you if you let it. So you always keep equipment unplugged unless you're using it. All right, so I'm going to plug it in. One of the other nice things about this particular item is it's 110, so you can plug it in anywhere. As opposed to a popcorn machine, you're going to see requires 220 electricity and, you know, 40 amp breakers and that kind of stuff. Okay. This is the one thing that a lot of people forget about.
The
Drain too.
The drain, yeah. I can't tell you how many, if you go to a party, some backyard party or something like that, people do this in their house and they'll forget to put a bucket underneath the hose, and then they got water running all over the floor, okay? So the way we're gonna fix it is we're just gonna put this up here for now, and water does not typically flow uphill, okay? There's only 2 switches here, on, off, that's one switch, and then we have a motor. We'll push that button, and that's basically going to spin the blade. We've come a long way with these pieces here being much more safe and user-friendly. We're going to fill this with ice. We're going to close this. It's going to grind the ice. In previous years, people didn't have this, and they would put their hand in there to push the ice down. So there are a lot of times we found fingers in the bottom of these. Okay, that's not a good
Just
thing.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Not cleaning up.
All right. So I'll show you how simple it is. You typically could take any kind of ice. This is cubed ice. We're going to fill this up. And then voila. We're gonna cover this. One hand over here on the wheel. We're gonna repeat the process. Now, the people that work a lot of festivals, flea markets, zoos, they're gonna have a bigger machine, and they're gonna have more than one person doing this, because speed of service is really important. All right, so we've got a cone, scoop. All you do is roll it. Pretty simple, right? Now, here's where most people, if you feel this, you'll feel there's no ice in the bottom. Feel it? It's kind of hollow down there, right? How much ice do you think that is? Maybe like
Very
3
minimal.
cubes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then, where people make their mistake is we typically put about an ounce of syrup on there, because we just want the color. All right? Now, most employees in this business are gonna do this, because they're gonna wanna be sure that the customer gets fair value. All right? Now the bottom is gonna fill up. Now what's gonna happen?
Bottom.
It's gonna start leaking.
Well, you're gonna squeeze it, this is gonna fall out, you're gonna end up with syrup all over your hand, and so forth and so on. All right, so who wants this?
Just like a kid.
Anybody want cherry?
I'll take it.
You don't have to have it, because you're gonna get to make your own here, didn't you? All right. Now, to extend the value proposition, here's the next step. You don't ever want to put the handle in there, you want to leave the handle out. Now I basically have 3 scoops of free ice, right? Now, what would you pay for this?
$5.
You went from 3 to 5. How much does this cost? The container itself, the vessel?
Probably like.
This right here is less than a penny, right at a penny.
I'm sure that's like 10 cents.
Yes, less than 10 cents. So we just got $2 more for about an 8-cent investment.
But it's triple the ice, so
And you
in
can
theory,
set it
it's
down.
more
But ice is
of the
free.
product.
Yeah,
It's
and
got a
you can-
spill guard.
That always
Yeah.
sells me, is when I can set it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because of,
You could fit more syrup in there.
well, you can do different colors and all that.
Bam. The rainbow effect.
I spilled some on the carpet, sorry.
That's a lot of stuff.
Now what have we done?
You
Basically,
We
Right.
changed the
Your product.
presentation, right?
Yeah.
So now it looks like it's really worth something. So the $5 thing, it really meets our needs, right? Or is exceeding expectations. That's what the goal is. I'm gonna try this and see if this will work.
This is a full $7 on that.
A full what?
$7.
There you
Oh,
go.
no, that's $10. Look at that glass. You get to take the glass
Yeah,
out.
but it's a
That's
smaller amount of
$10.
ice.
Well, I wouldn't give you the glass. I just use
Oh,
this.
spill it, spill it.
Yeah, that's not very good. Here we go.
But it's a smaller,
least it's
that's a
red.
smaller amount of ice though.
It's all
Oh,
about
but the
presentation.
glass. Yeah, the glass.
It's
is
dripping on
fancy.
you, Ash. Okay. Sorry.
So I'm gonna try
Lost me
this
on the
again. I'm gonna
glass.
do it a different way. I got a little ahead of myself.
It's a
What I really
Peabody
wanted
snow
to
cone
do.
right there.
This is this.
Peabody snow cone, that's
Oh,
$20
there.
right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got
Better
that
be busted,
little,
Ice
little twist in there.
from Alaska.
Yeah, forget the ice, just put the alcohol.
Now, they make
Yeah,
these
there you
plastic
go.
cups
There's
like
some
this.
vodka in there, now we're talking.
Now, this happens to be a glass, Pilsner glass, but they make plastic ones for about 10 cents. What's the last color? Okay, what would you pay for that?
$10.
Yeah, that's
$10.
$10 immediately.
So what have we changed?
Just the
Presentation.
appearance.
Just the
Presentation.
presentation.
Mhm.
The same thing happens in restaurants. When you go to these high-end restaurants, what's different between their hamburger and, say, a Huey's burger?
Presentation.
What, and tell me how.
So at my restaurant,
we sell burgers for $15, when you can go to Huey's and get it for like $6.
Right.
And it's pretty much. the
Yours is
presentation.
probably on a plate, a
It's on a
ceramic
plate, and they have fries, it comes with a little ramekin, and the presentation.
what?
A little ramekin.
A ramekin. What's a ramekin?
It's like what you put dressings and condiments.
I know what it is.
Oh, Like a
Okay.
nice.
You just
it's
used a
so-
nice little French term that again changed the presentation from a souffle cup to a ramekin.
Or like at Huey's, they give you like a little plastic cup when they're in some metal cup.
Right. Right.
Whoa.
Right. Or the garnish is probably different.
Like when I, if somebody asks for like a side of ranch or something, I can't just bring them the ramekin, I have to put it on a
Plate.
B&B plate with a napkin
Right.
and bring it to them like that.
Right. Now, I'll give you an example. So I've told you about my travels. And typically, if you travel internationally and you fly what they call coach, they're going to give you 3 meals, because you're typically in the air 10 to 12 to 14 hours. So you take off, and they come by with the beverage cart, and you get free beverages, right? So if you want a glass of wine or whatever, they take one of the little bottles and pour the wine in there and give you a little cup, plastic cup, right? If you fly business class and you ask for a glass of wine, they bring the entire bottle and the glasses, open the bottle, pour it in the glass, and leave the bottle at your seat. If you fly first class, okay, they have a wine list, and you pick out whatever you want. And then they bring it. You see the difference? So a coach ticket cost, I'll say $2,000. Business class is probably $5,000 to $6,000. First class is going to be $10,000. You're on the same airplane. You're on a seat, right? What's the difference? They're getting $5,000 because they gave you a $15 or $20 bottle of wine, okay? The people down, in coach are getting the same thing. So it's about presentation. That's what it's all about. Okay, so who wants to be the first one to make a snow cone? Okay, Marley. Let's see if she does.
All the steps.
Yeah. Good.
Easy. Do you want me to make more? Or is everybody else
Why
good?
don't you make yourself a snow cone?
Okay.
Would you prefer to have the pink cup, or would you like a yellow cup?
Oh, I'm good with pink.
You're okay with pink?
Mhm.
See, we have a multiple of colors.
I want options.
You want blue? Okay. You don't want the little one, the snow cone cup?
I want this blue. I want the blue.
What color do you want one?
Oh, I'm okay. I can't have snow cones.
Oh, okay.
I'll take a green one.
I'm okay.
Really? You don't want a pink one? Good with
Well,
your shirt?
I'm literally like just gonna get ice, but I'll
Okay.
get a green one.
I could take some ice, put it in my water bottle.
Okay. Who wants to be next? No, you have to
I
cross
have
the
to
ice.
do it?
You have to do the whole thing.
The process.
You get a job and you're working at some resort and they assign you the snow cone thing on the beach. I want to be sure you know how to make snow cones. Okay, you're good to go. How difficult was that?
Not very. I mean, the scoop
Well,
could
you'd
have
be
been
surprised
bigger.
how many adults can screw that up.
How?
Yeah.
How do you screw that up?
Yeah.
It happens. Trust me.
So do I need to crush some ice since you
Yes,
did?
sir.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not making snow cones unless you crush the ice.
Gotta get full of things.
Yeah, so somebody has to go down to the third floor and get some spoons.
So is this something you had to bring, or is this something that the Holiday Inn had?
It You want to tell her, Ashley, what happens? I bring
He
it.
has to bring it.
Oh. So
You didn't see me come up with the hotel cart, and I had this on it?
I didn't.
Do you have access to these, like movie theater or something?
No, actually,
this
there's a
like-
distributor here in
Oh,
town that does this. They actually rent these, so like if you want to have a backyard party for your niece or
My,
nephew.
yeah, my dad gets one every 4th of July.
Does he?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, so he probably pays about $25.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So your dad likes snow cones? Jessica,
Yeah.
you want to do it?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what is it with snow cones? Usually, this is the one section.
Oh, it's nice.
I'm allergic to the flavoring, so I literally can't have it, or else I would totally have a snow cone right now.
Sorry.
I'm just
That's
cold.
okay.
Yeah, actually, maybe next year we remember that we do coffee in the beginning of the semester. We'll do snow cones at the end of the
Yeah, I don't understand how adults can screw this up.
I don't know how children can screw that up.
Well, a lot of times what they'll do is they put too much ice in there and they try to cram this, or you see there's only one piece right here that really moves. They break that off. Just
With a hammer? Just, like swinging at it?
Okay, so note to self. Did y'all see how much snow came out? How much snow came out?
Not a whole lot.
Not enough. Why?
Didn't fill it up?
So that's right. So there is some method to make this work right. You need enough pressure. And if I only put one scoop in there, watch what happens. It doesn't go all the way
You have to
through.
blow that
So
chamber
you
all
need
the
the
way.
weight of all the items.
Hey, no refills.
To
all
be
right?
more efficient. By the way, the first one's free when we start charging it.
Yeah, see,
dang
that's.
Now watch. And you ask about how adults can screw this up?
It's overfilled.
Yeah. All right,
It's a small mountain.
go ahead. Sure. So much for spoons, huh?
She's got it.
I know, she's taking that.
You want what?
Is that Dr. Paul crazy?
Yes.
I was like, we're making snow cones.
Oh, that was nice. They were complaining if you took too long. I'm not mentioning names, but
Are we something?
Yeah, you gotta have more